It seems like just yesterday that myself and the other two members of my fire team stood in the tower together for the very first time. My brother and my good friend Elder Tony. It actually taken us a really long time to get to that point, not because we didn't get Destiny at launch, but because there was a lot going on in each of our lives at that point in time. And our plans to sit down and to play Destiny together at midnight were kind of blown out of the water. So I think it was a full 10 to 15 hours before we all got together in the tower and set out to do our first quest together, our first set of adventures together. And that was really just the start of so many more memories and stories that we would have to tell from our experiences inside of Destiny. With Age of Triumph right around the corner, and of course the inevitable release of Destiny 2 later this year, I wanted to spend some time revisiting some of my favorite memories in the game. As simple as they might be, or as complex as they might be, as exciting or as dull as they might be, they're memories nonetheless, and I think there's value to each and every one of them. And I think it's memories like the one I'm going to share today that really do help define what Destiny is and why it's special to so many people, why it's special to me, why it was, why it is, and why it will always be. So let's start by making our way to Mars. This is indeed my biggest memory from Mars. Now, I've always been a sucker for sort of barren, desert-type environments. I don't think we see enough of them in games, and when they're done, they're not done particularly well. But most of the environments in Destiny, if not all of them, are very well designed. They may not be the most exciting environments, and some of them aren't particularly enjoyable to explore, but I think from a visual perspective, they almost all of them hit it right on the nose, especially considering how little space Bungie had to work with when it came to the scale of each of these environments. So Mars totally captures that barren, dusty, sort of overthrown, sort of recaptured by the environment vibe that I love about desert-type environments. Of course, it is Mars, so we're also on the red planet. Throw in one of your first major interactions with the legendary Cabal, these massive creatures that I had seen in concept art time and time again and was dying to face in combat, and also the absolute mystery of the Vex, and you have probably one of the most special zones in a video game ever, for me anyways. I mean, and a lot of it has to do with the skyboxes in the background, which is something that the team at Bungie is endlessly epic at making happen. I mean, this is the first scene that you get when you land on Mars. It doesn't matter if you played the game day one or if you play the game tomorrow for the very first time. When you come to Mars, this is still the very first thing you're going to look at. And is that not breathtaking? I mean, the skybox, that distant, massive, dune-like mountain, and the remnants of some sort of a moon that seems to have had a very rough day, and then the lost city of Mars. Like, so much in one beautiful picture. And I think this tree right here, too, is always just very representative of me, of Mars for me, of the way that Bungie looked at Mars. Because when we think of Mars as human beings, we kind of end it with, it's a dead planet that once held life. And this kind of makes that even more clear cut. I mean, this is legitimately some sort of a tree that is now dead. So when and where did life actually exist on Mars in the Destiny universe? There's just an endless list of questions that arise when you really start to look deep into the environments and the details of Destiny's world. So let's actually go ahead and take a bit of a travel, because early days in Destiny, number one, you needed to farm a lot of resources. Materials were very important for the upgrade of weapons and gear. It was a necessity. And since you were also starting out the game for the very first time like everyone else, you didn't really have a massive inventory of mats. So farming was a consistent thing that you did maybe on the weekends with friends. And while I'm not particularly fond of the idea of sort of filler fluff gameplay, the co-op element of Destiny always kept things really strong. So I could hop in here with my friends, and we knew that we would need to go farm relic iron, and we could make an afternoon out of it. Maybe not the entire afternoon. We'd probably go run strikes and maybe do some dailies together when those got initiated. But for the most part, we'd come to Mars, and we had our loop that we would run. And this is sort of the big memory for me, right? It's the silliest little thing, but it was just all about us spending time together for the most part. A group of friends who have now grown up, and no, we don't have all the time in the world to meet each other on the weekends, to hang out and to talk about what's going on in our life. So we do that over Destiny. And we'd come here and we'd run our little loop. So our loop would start right on this side here. And basically we were just endlessly farming chests. So we'd drop in over here, we'd probably grab some of the patrols, and then we'd just start checking these passageways. We'd come down here, okay, no chest. We'd send one player down, the other two would stay up here, clean out targets. That guy would be like, okay, no chest, let's move on. Get a few more kills along the way. Clean up some of these Cabal. Alright, let's go to the next one. And we would just work our way across the environment, make our way up here. Make our way into the other tower. Again, just cleaning out Cabal as they came, looking for chests filled with relic iron. Okay, no chest here. And we would end up doing this entire loop. Basically, we'd run through here. We'd go to the small hangar bay back there. We'd jump up top, check the building up there. Jump down here, check another one. Keep making our way through. And the whole while, yeah, we're not really directly, you know, interacting with the game apart from maybe killing a few Cabal here and there. But we're communicating. We're spending time together. Or we have an excuse to talk to one another about our lives while also making progress in a video game. You know, so I think the co-op element of Destiny has been an endless strong point for it. And I think, much like an MMO that has a lot of filler aspects, a lot of grindy aspects, you know, go collect this, collect that to create these things, the co-op element is what adds the value. Or maybe, potentially, it is the only real value there. But it makes things like this memorable, and I can just remember us laughing and just, you know, talking about complete BS, running this loop together, you know, okay, I got enough, let's go back, I wanna finish up what I'm doing here, I got enough, let me go upgrade this weapon. You know, it's just, it was all, there was value to it. And I don't know why, but that's like an endlessly strong memory for me. That's one of those things that I'll probably never forget when I talk about Destiny. You know, if I'm playing Destiny 8 years from now, and it's Destiny 3 or whatever, and, you know, the game is completely different, but I'm farming materials at some point, I'm going to look back and I'm going to say, hey, remember we used to run the loop, as we'd call it? Yeah, the loop. Yeah, you guys run the loop. Oh, yeah, that was a good time, man. Just kill all those Cabal, and then eventually, you know, the Taken came, so occasionally the Taken would show up, and we deal with the Taken army. It's weird, the sort of, you know, memories. I don't think in real life you'd ever say, hey, you remember that one time when we used to go to Tops and I used to cash my check? You probably wouldn't say that, right? But video games can often take the mundane and they can make them magical memories. That's one reason Destiny and games like it are so absolutely special to me. So I'd really love to hear some of your memories. One would be the best. And if you have any memories that are particularly tied to the farming of materials, I think that would be especially cool. I think, again, Destiny is a game where we all have interesting memories. It could be one story that happened one time, or it could be something that we did again and again with our friends. And it can be tied to the most mundane task or the most magnificent task. So going forward with these, as we approach Age of Triumph and Destiny 2, I'm going to keep doing these. I'm not going to be afraid to show you the more mundane memories and to highlight the more magnificent ones, because these are just all things that make Destiny Destiny for me. And I think it's worth sharing. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of this is really you guys also sharing some of your stories. I really want to look at that comment section and just see a big, juicy, you know, just almost sob-induced flow of Destiny memories. That would be absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Age of Triumph is on the horizon. I'm going to be trying to inject some more Destiny 2 content, whether it's memory stuff like this or actual Age of Triumph stuff, into the channel as we make our way towards Destiny 2. So expect some Destiny and some Titanfall sitting side by side. I hope you guys have a great week. I know it's Monday. Kickstart the week with a strong start. And as always, remember to play for fun, remember to play to challenge yourself, but most importantly, remember to play smart.